Welcome, everybody. Tonight, the wellness topic is cancer and how to find strength in the face of cancer. So if you have a friend or you know someone that's facing cancer, or if you are yourself, hopefully this video will give you some insight and some things that you can do, natural remedies to help you deal with the cancer. So I'd like to introduce the speaker tonight, and that's Jade Baldwin. Give it 2 hands together for Jade Baldwin. Yay.
Hi, Kayla, she's back.
Yay.
Just in time. Awesome. So I prepared a blog on this.
Okay, I'll show that now.
Yep.
So this can be found at jadebaldwin.com/cancer.
So I'll start with a story about my mum. So in 2013, we were flying back from Australia, so we were coming back here to the US. And, as soon as I landed, I got this text that, they said they went to the doctors and the results came back and Mum has cancer. And I was like, it didn't dawn on me that it was cancer. I thought, okay. And I thought, no, yeah, it's okay. And then it kind of slowly just sunk in, and I thought, oh my gosh, no way. No way, it can't happen to us. So I was too far to be there with my mum to take care of her and help her out, because she doesn't speak English, because she found a huge lump in there and she just didn't go away, and so she decided to get it checked out. And very quickly, everything happened very quickly. The doctors pressured us into surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation. And this is, everybody is different, okay? But this is our family. And so I wasn't there. So it was just my sister, and it was just her, and she wasn't 100% sure what to do and how bad the cancer was. So the doctor said, got to cut it out. She's going to, die. And my mum, her 2 friends actually recently, around the same time, they had a diagnosis as well. And so one just opted for the interventions, and she wasn't doing very well. And so my mum agreed, because there's so many other family members that are like, what are you doing? I know the options are so obvious, come on. And so she opted for the surgery. And so when she was out, I got a hold of her right away, and I said, Mum, what else are you going to do? And she said, nothing. I don't want to do any more. This is not fun, right? But it was so funny, because afterwards she was saying, as soon as I woke up, the nurse was coughing, and I thought, you can drink lemon oil. So I thought, wow, you're so funny. She just went through surgery. So anyways, I cut a few lumps and bumps out. And cancer is more than lumps and bumps, okay? It's in your whole system. Anyways, I asked my mum what she wanted to do, because I was very confident in our body's ability to heal. And that's a very important philosophy that everybody needs to understand. If you don't understand it, if you believe that your body is broken, if you believe that, your body's like a computer, sometimes it just goes haywire, you have nothing to do with it, and sometimes you catch this cancer, you catch this bug, you catch all these things, it has nothing to do with you, then it's going to be very difficult for you to heal and to self-heal. But understand that our bodies are created and has a really powerful ability to self-heal and mend. So we have a little doctor within there, and you just have to support that doctor. So anyways, with my mum, we decided, we're going to do everything all natural, and lots of essential oils, lots of supplements. And after 2 months, we went back to the doctors, and they're expecting that the cancer cells and things are still there. They just took out the major lumps and bumps, and they found nothing. So we were ecstatic, and we thought, oh, that was it. We'll just keep on doing what we're doing. And every 2 months, exactly every 2 months, we get this very complicated blood work done, get the report, and we drive all the way to this doctor who lives very far away and show him the results. And he's been a doctor for 20 odd years, and he said that my mum and one other person has been the only 2 people that have ever rejected all his treatments. And we said, well, what happened to the other lady? And he says, well, she's still alive. He's one of the first patients. And it's been 20 years and she's still around. And we're like, oh, that's awesome. He said, we can introduce you guys. And I thought, oh, all right, whatever. But I thought, okay. So with this miraculous results, I thought he might want to know. But he didn't ask us, unfortunately. And that's too bad. But we grew, we became very confident after that. And with my mum, she has this new belief in herself, and she just wanted to change and heal and help everybody. And so she's one of the best wellness advocates I know around. So anyways, right now my parents are actually in Vietnam because they're so healthy. They get to run around town and do lots of philanthropical stuff. And so that's what they're doing. They get to enjoy a full life. And they don't take drugs anymore because their body has learned to heal. And so they're actually able to run around and enjoy their 9 grandkids and still have a full life. So I'm very, very grateful. And I really want to share this message with everyone because this is hope. And so when you get a diagnosis, it's not a death sentence. Please do not feel like you're helpless and this is like such a terrible thing. So the more education you get, the more power you get. And just please trust your body. Be very intuitive as to what your body wants and needs. So tonight, I want to share with you what we did and what we know, and just share that with you. But I can tell you that with this knowledge, we've had so many amazing stories so far of friends that has had, the doctors have given up on them. And within a very short time, they recovered and they, lived beyond what, the doctors have expected. It's been so powerful that I thought, I can't not share this. So any comments or questions so far? All good? Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I was just thinking when you're talking about the doctor that treated your mom or wanted to treat your mom, I wonder how many of his other patients that took the treatments are still alive.
Oh, you know what? That's an amazing. That's an interesting thing you brought up, because my mom's friends, the 2 friends that had cancer at the same time, one of the girlfriends died, and the other guy who got cancer, they both went through the treatments. They both opted for it. The other guy looked like the living dead. And his actually niece came over to visit my mum because she was visiting with her uncle, and she was like, I can't believe this is happening to our family. And she went over to visit mum because she heard mum had the same thing. There's 3 people, 1 person died. And she went over and then she looked at my mum and she burst out crying. And my mum's like, are you okay? Are you okay? And she was like, you don't look sick. My mum's like, oh, I'm all healed. And she's like, what happened? And she goes, oh no, they cut me here and we just did all these things. And she's like, where? And my mum said, oh, I use this oil called Immortel. You can't tell, it looks like a fold, but it's here. And my mum was like, oh, this girl's so funny. She came over, she just started crying, hugging me and saying, what happened? And then it dawned on her when she was retelling that could have been her. So we were so grateful, a whole family, because we have a mama, and her friend, she's not around anymore. So anyways, can you share this page, honey?
Absolutely.
Sorry about the emotions, Clary Sage. So we have this post, and it's very easy to find, jadebolton.com/cancer. The very, very first thing we need to do is to feed the cells. So feed the body, because we have these cells that need not only fuel, but tools to repair. That's what they do. They do that all the time. That's their job. So you just need to encourage it. When we wanted to help my mum heal, we said, let's eat clean. So I'm telling Mum, get rid of the dairy, get rid of the breads and all these white sugars and things. And then, we just realized that it was, going back to eating like Vietnamese people do in the country. So she was like, oh, that's easy. I could do that. And we realized that, hey, that was her play food anyways. She was just, she had bread once in a while and all these other things because it was just play food. It wasn't real food for her. She was eating these Vietnamese foods that have lots of fresh greens and things every single meal. And so now it was just eating more of that. And it wasn't a problem for her because it's like, oh, that was easy. So it was not difficult for her to change. But you know what? Some people, when we tell them this, it's going to be a huge change for their life. Some people, they're not used to eating anything that's green. I had a guy come over one time and him and his wife came over and hung out with us for the evening, and it was a few hours, so I thought I should feed him. So I brought out my, what was in my fridge, and it was salads this and salad that and salad this, and he looked at it and he says, too healthy. And I just didn't eat it. So I thought, oh, this is just something that's very difficult for some people because they're not used to it. So, yeah.
And I was saying, before we started this recording, another friend of ours, also in doTERRA, a leader in doTERRA, she went through cancer and she said the same exact things, eat healthy, eliminate the things that are going to cause inflammation and everything.
Yeah.
And she even got into juicing and everything, which is a very good thing to eat, raw vegetables and wholesome food. So it's something your body needs.
Yeah, because it's just your building blocks. You're giving them tools. If you build a house, that's not out of bricks and out of just clay or Play-Doh, it just doesn't work. But that's what people don't realize, that whatever you're putting in, that's the raw material that your body is going to use to build your tissues. And of course, healthy cells, healthy tissues mean healthy organs. Healthy organs is healthy body and a healthy you. So we bought my mum a juicer as well, and she really didn't juice very much, just had a lot of raw stuff that we usually do. And we used the Lifelong Vitality supplements to supplement everything that she was doing to make sure that she was getting all the vitamins and minerals she needed. Okay, so that
you can eat as healthy as you can try to eat as healthy as you can, but you're not going to get the full nutrients that your body needs. So you need to add that supplement. The supplement means to add to. So
to complete it.
That's very important when you're talking about nutrition.
The good thing about it is these are whole foods, and if you take a little bit more of something that you don't need, because they're in its natural form, your body's able to eliminate the excess. So it's awesome. It's really good that way. We were really grateful for it because she was so energetic. She has color. She was eating. She was sleeping. So it wasn't like anything has changed really. Very uneventful for us, I guess you could say. So the next thing is Terrazyme, which is our digestive enzyme complex. Very important because it helps break down stuff, and it gives you a hand with digestion. But not only that, it helps with tissues. It helps rebuild tissues in your body. So say, things are not functioning as it should, then, Terrazyme is, there just to give your body a hand. So anybody have experience with Terrazyme, or want to share anything about Terrazyme? Yeah?
I use Terrazyme every single day. I count it out with my vitamins, and if I'm home midday, I take it with my lunch. Yeah. So it really breaks down the food, and my digestion, my elimination is good. But it's also very good to take on an empty stomach. It rebuilds connective tissue, and so we don't take advantage of that near enough.
Yeah, that's right. So I tell people before bed, if you had a late meal, great before bed, but even if you don't, on an empty stomach, really good. Okay.
We have stories of people who had old wounds or old scars.
Oh, that was awesome.
That, after taking Terrazyme and everything and getting the nutrients that they need, began to heal.
Yeah. So have you had stories like that where it's like funny old wounds that just give you trouble and then it doesn't anymore? One of my friends, one of her knees had a tear, and it was a sports injury from 30 odd years ago. But the skin underneath it kind of healed funny. So on the surface, it looked like it was just curly. It was just wavy. She said it looked like bacon. If you think about bacon, it was her skin on top. And she said it was always bothering her. The weather changes, it bothers her. Something happens and it bothers her. So it's a very sensitive knee. And she said she never could just jump and run and do sports as fully as she could. And after the supplements and the oils, she didn't know what it was. One day her knee was just so swollen, she didn't know what to do. She couldn't go upstairs to bed even. But after 3 days, she said it died down and it went completely normal again. And when she inspected it, it was actually looks the same as the other knee. And she's like, what happened to that bacon? It's all gone. She's like, whoa, what's happening? And then she walked that day, and she said, and then I just kind of broke out in a run. And she said, and I ran, and it was still okay. That was amazing. So, that happens to people sometimes. So if you have like a certain body, part in the corner somewhere that starts to swell, maybe just give it a couple of days. You never know. It might be something that's okay. Your body's repairing, and lots of blood flow to that area and saying, hey guys, everybody focus on this. What happened here? You repaired wrong. Let's repair correctly now. So just going back, we eat, in an anti-inflammatory way. Okay, so lots of healthy foods, and we give our body lots of nourishment. I want you to see this picture down here. So this is the herbs that the Vietnamese people eat. And they eat it by the handful. It's not just a little sprinkle here, but that you wrap it up, and it's mostly this and maybe rice noodles and a dip or a sauce, and that's the main meals. And people eat like that. And we had this kind of herbs all the time when I was growing up. And I didn't know better because I was just this little kid. But now as an adult, I thought, holy moly, that was all anti-inflammatory stuff that I was eating. It was awesome. So, let thy food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food. Okay, so it was awesome to remember that. So that's the
It's for nutrition.
Nutrition. Now we have told people over and over that your cells, each of your cells have 3 jobs. The first job is for it to multiply or duplicate. Okay, so we call that mitosis. Fancy word, but it just copies itself, and it should. And then the other job is it does its specialized function. So if it's a skin cell, it's supposed to look like skin. And if it's an eye cell, it does a job of the eye. And the third job is it has the natural self-destruct mode. So these cells, they duplicate after a certain time, and they just self-destruct and then make room for new cells. And that's how it should be. But when your cells, sometimes they are sick, they're damaged in some way, maybe with toxins, maybe with radiation of some sort, and it starts to mutate. And then it doesn't just automatically self-destruct, but it starts to make copies of its mutated self. That we call that cancer. Okay, we call that tumor. And sometimes tumor is like a concentration or a garbage can for all of that gunk. And that's how your body responds and reacts. And so when we see it, we just have to understand that, hey, that's just the cells not being able to self-destruct properly or repair properly. So knowing that, it was really interesting. Do you want to grab that, honey? My mum's friend has a brother in Vietnam, and the lady came over and she said, look, my brother had a huge growth under his neck, the size of his fist. And I thought, oh, you know, that doesn't seem right, because that's not what's supposed to happen, right? So it's the cells duplicating in a mutated way. So I thought, okay. And she's like, but we don't know what the name is and we don't know what to do. And I said, oh, I don't know either, but we could try something. And so I gave them the DDR prime. And this is a cellular blend, and we'll talk about this blend in more details later. But this blend comes in a soft gel, and it comes in an oil form. Yeah, there we are. Okay. So the lady, she bought 2 of each, and she sent it to Vietnam to her brother, who lives in like the country somewhere, very remote. So he took it 2 in the morning, 2 at night, and he rubbed it on morning and night. And 2 months later, he contacted his sister and told her that it's the size of a pea. So it was awesome that, you know, we really didn't need to necessarily know the name of things. If it's not functioning as it should, then, you know, we can try this and see if we can encourage the cells to function properly. Yep. So
does anybody have any experience with DDR prime?
So we have
Everybody here.
Megan. Have you used it?
And my grandpa used it. I know they used to put it on his legs. He had like a really rare form of leukemia. And he really liked that a lot. He would never take it like internally because he was, I don't know, he is grandpa. But we used to put it on his legs a lot. And I just actually gave it to my grandma to give to her next door neighbor because her husband just found out he has like cancer on his brainstem that's like inoperable. So it's definitely going to be in use.
Yeah, so we're not saying that it's going to cure anything. We're just going to use some of this idea to support the body in its normal function of self-repair.
Yep.
Yeah.
An easy way to say it is it supports healthy cellular function.
Yeah.
So if you see anything that's going wrong with cellular function, that's a good one to turn to. So that's awesome.
Yeah. So we love this oil. We use it, even Ben and I, every week we use it every now and then just to keep ourselves healthy. And who knows, you know, maybe if something's happening inside, we could, you know, stop that from progressing.
Yeah,
Okay.
and there's some awesome essential oils in there, which I think we'll go into later.
Yeah. So I just wanted to give a really brief rundown. The next is to just do a cleanse. And a lot of people, when they think of a cleanse, they think of, you know, doing lots of other juicing or whatever, chemical cleanse. I had a lady do a chemical cleanse and I thought, oh, that's not the idea because we really want to get the chemicals out. So that was kind of funny. So start with a citrus oil, lemon oil. And, you know, that's a good start. Most of these people might have been sick with other things too for a long time. And a full-on 30-day cleanse might be too much for them to start with. So within, you know, for the first month or even 2 months, do the lifelong vitality, just do a nutritional cleanse and lemon cleanse, just a gentle, just to get their body prepared. I wouldn't even, you know, suggest the 30-day cleanse until their body, you know, has done its best to cleanse with nutrition and things, because sometimes a lot of the symptoms is just nutritional deficiency. And once they feed their cells, the cells remember how to function properly. And voila, some of the symptoms go away. So, yeah, so we want to eliminate that possibility, okay? Yep, any questions, comments so far? Oh, good. All right.
So you've probably noticed that all these are just ideas to get you more healthy, and that's really all you can do, is because your body is the one that's going to, if there's going to be any healing going on, it's going to be at a you know, at your body level. So we're just giving the body all the tools necessary.
And for the person that is diagnosed with the cancer, you know, they have to choose to do this. We will just encourage and do our best to share information. But, you know, at that time in their life, a lot of people will be giving a lot of information. So it gets kind of stressful for them.
Yep. And we've said things like, you know, we wouldn't have chosen to go through chemotherapy or radiation, but that's a personal, and we've had a lot of friends that have decided to go down that track and use these things as well. And that's actually a question we've gotten in the past is, can I do both? And the answer is absolutely. If you can eat food, you can take any of these things.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you, honey. So what we want to do is to help stimulate the body's self-healing response. And your body heals best when it's rested and sleeping. So if we can reduce stress and relax, that's very important. So some of the oils that really help with that. So you remember the ester, actually that was last call. So we had the oil property chart, and all the oils with a lot of esters are the oils that are really good at helping us relax. So we have birch, bergamot, clary sage, Douglas fir, geranium, helichrysum, lavender, wintergreen, and lang lang. So those are the important ones. They can choose whichever one they want. They can have a combination, up to them. There's some blends that are awesome. So balance, serenity, peace, console, forgive. Okay. And, you know, they can diffuse it and basically just put themselves in a state of mind to be relaxed. One thing to help people feel more relaxed is to start cleaning up, you know, priorities and commitments. Sometimes we overcommit ourselves and we get very busy. So, you know, I suggest to people putting things in order of good, better, best, and then just only doing the best or the better best. So if you feel like, well, I just don't have enough time, there's so much to do still, even though I'm not well, diffuse wild orange, so you can actually start to eliminate the, you know, things that don't matter. Okay. Any questions, comments? Yep. Awesome. Yep.
So when people are more relaxed, and you know, you've even heard people like say like, you know, laugh a lot, get out and have fun. I've heard someone say that, you know, you watch funny movies and stuff. Laughter is also a good form of medicine. I think that kind of fits into this area as well.
Yep. Yeah, I've read a lot of things about laughter, so, you know, just get yourself happy because your body will produce those happy chemicals.
Yep. So Jane says, listen to music, go out in nature, touch the trees, put your feet in the soil, walk along the beach.
Yep.
Long walks along the beach. And world peace.
And world peace. So this is a really important part, even though it doesn't seem like it's a big significant part, but journal about gratitude, peace, and self-love. So if you have this book, it's called Feelings Buried Alive, Never Die. It's very important to look up cancer, okay? Because cancer is about us not loving ourselves and allowing things to happen to us. So
if you're looking for that book, there's a link here. Jade's put all her favorite books there on the side.
Yep. So it's a form of self-destruction. So, you know, the cells, it repairs itself, right? So it's like your energy refuses to allow it to repair itself. So it's sort of an interesting thing here. In some sort of intense depression, anger, resentment. So all of these things. So if you could spend some time, be still, and reflect on those things and self-examine some of your emotions and release it. because every fear emotion is a disconnection from our divine source. That's all it is. So the resolution is to connect to our divine source by showing gratitude, by acknowledging the blessings that we have, and by accepting love. You are loved because you're God's, child. That's it. That's why we're loved. Don't measure that love by any other worldly measures. There's no need, and it's actually doesn't help because whatever measure we use besides the measure that God uses, it's going to disconnect and separate. So it doesn't build. So, even if we say, I've achieved all these things, all these things, check, it still will help make you feel like fall short. So, yeah. So that's important. I did this with my mum, and I did a lot of energy healing for her. And it was just stuff that we learned, old conditioning from, generations, and it's just compounded. So we did a lot of work, and it was just, it was kind of fun. But, at the end of it all, not only do I have a healthy mum, but she's free of a lot of the emotional burdens too. In the past, she was on hypervigilant. And if you know my story, our family, we escaped from Vietnam, so we had a lot of trauma. And my parents were on fight or flight mode for a long time. And when the kids all grew up and moved out, Mum was still in that mode. And so she was adopting neighbors and finding something for her to do to be useful. And, there was a time that she could just actually let go and relax now, because she's not in any danger. She doesn't have any responsibility to feed and, take care of us anymore, but she couldn't get herself out of that mode. And this self-reflecting time was awesome, because she was able to take care of herself and just worry about herself. And that's kind of hard for a lot of mothers to do, fathers too, to allow people to serve us. And this week I actually learned this lesson in a deeper kind of way. When we say we're selfless, I don't like that word very much. I like unselfish, because selfless minimizes yourself. So suddenly you're less than everybody else. And I don't like the feel of it. So I like to use, unselfish, which is, you're still able to love yourself, and you're still able to fully love others. And you actually allow others to fully love you. You accept that love. And this is very healing. But when we don't allow people to fully love us because we're selfless, then it's actually a form of selfishness, because, if you give to others and you expect them to accept, but then when people give, you don't allow them to accept, then, it's a bit selfish.
Because you're not thinking about what they'll receive when they
can receive blessings too.
Yeah, other people need to give.
Alrighty. Anyone want to comment?
It's good so far. Keep going.
All right, guys. So sleep is very important. We have a lot of things that we can do for sleep. We have our Serenity blend. We have vetiver, just to help ground us. The oil, the balance oil, we actually have a whole post on this. Balance oil helps with the mind chatter. And juniper berry. Does anybody remember why we use juniper berry for sleep?
For nightmares.
Yeah.
Well, and it calms your organs.
Yep, that's right.
Allows your organs to sleep. Yeah.
That's right. Awesome. Yep. So there's lots of things that we can do to help us sleep. But this is a time that we need to sleep a lot.
And Jade's also got here aromatherapy massage. Turning down the lights, reducing the noise, having that time.
Yeah.
So all good ideas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of my friends, the doctor actually gave up on her, and told her she had this very short time to live. And what we did was we, taught the family how to do the aroma touch massage. And, they offered it to her, and they were telling us that she slept and she slept and she slept. And it was amazing. And she
This
ate
is someone
and she
that
ate.
was suffering from
Yeah.
cancer as well.
Yeah, she ate and ate. And she was recovering so quickly.
Gaining weight.
Gaining weight. It was just so exciting to see her change like that in such a short time. And then she was saying, but I sleep so much, Jade. And I said, well, this is good. It's your time to take care of you and sleep away, because that's when you start to repair. Your body doesn't have to worry about sending energy to other parts of your body. It's just shutting everything down so it can just focus on the repair and renewal or restoring. Your brain actually shrinks a little bit when you're sleeping too.
And another thing about that story is she actually went to stay with a family in another country, and so she was kind of removed from maybe her environment.
She came to Australia.
Would have stressed her and stuff.
Yeah.
So sounds like all of our stories are really have fantastic results, and it's just helping the body get better.
Yeah. We didn't do it, the body did. Yeah.
It's not necessarily we're making the claim if you do these things, you'll be cured. But you will give your body the absolute best chance possible to deal with whatever traumas that it's facing. And no one can argue that if you follow these steps, that it won't improve your chances.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. So anyone want to share or comment on so far?
That's just sleep. We have one.
Okay. So we need to, the last part is actually just eliminating things that feed cancer. So of course we have sugar.
Carcinogenic things as well.
Yeah, carcinogenic things.
Yeah.
So, if you look at some of the chemicals that are, this is carcinogen on it.
Yeah, mostly what Jay's talking about here is food. But if you think about it, we live in an environment that has a lot of toxins in it. So the most of those you can eliminate, the better. Use natural cleaning products. Look at the hair care products or the toothpaste that you're using, or all of those things. If you can, reduce the amount of toxic load in your life, it's going to help your body be able to deal with, any sort of health element. Yeah.
Sometimes there are slow-growing cancers that take years and years to build up, and it's because we've damaged our cells a little bit at a time, and it will show and be detected after it's multiplied quite a bit. But while it's still, when it first starts, we can actually help our body start to repair and eliminate just by supporting how the body functions.
Mm-hmm. And as you're going through the cleanse, the 30-day cleanse, if you're reducing toxins in the other way, your body's going to have do a lot better job cleansing. So, and that'll help you along the way.
Yep. Yeah, so it's just a few facts that I feel was important just to help people understand cancer. Like I said, sometimes people get that word and they just, that's it, they're done. They don't need to do any research. They'll just follow what the doctor says. And, it can't hurt to read and learn a little bit more, right? So remember, cancer is, sometimes the definition of it is your cells mutating and it's duplicating wrong. So if you just understand it like that, then sometimes you have, cancer cells in your body that hasn't really been detected. So, take care of your body before it grows. That's why we're very vigilant about the toxins in our homes and, the chemicals, the things we put in our body.
So by that strict definition, we could all have cancer at one time or another, even right now.
Yeah. Also, remember that cancer is not just a single lump or a bump. I believe that it manifests where your energy is weakest. So it's interesting because my mum, her cancer manifested on her throat because she's very, she holds back and she doesn't speak up. So, that's her main trait. So everybody will tell her what to do and she'll just serve and quietly in her own way. But, if she's not, if she doesn't agree or she's not happy with something, you can't tell. So, she doesn't speak up. And, but that's how people were in Vietnam too. So with her, it manifested here.
You hear stories about some people there, women who've been raped or molested sexually, and they grow to hate that part of their body, and so they develop cancer in the area.
Yeah, around the sexual organs. So
Louise Hay is an example.
Yeah, that's right. She said, "Where did my body choose to put the cancer?" That's how she said it. And I thought, that's right. And just sometimes when people are not sure and they say, well, this is all good and all, but I don't know, I'm scared. You can offer them lemon oil or something. Does somebody want to say anything? Something? Okay, good. Like I said, just to help your body find happiness and just producing all those happy chemicals. So we talked about clary sage earlier, Yep. Let's see what else. Number 3, we'd already talked about the feeding the cells.
Eliminating the possibility that you have nutritional deficiencies.
Yep. So that's another thing we can do. Changing our health and diet. We already talked about that. We want to talk about chemotherapy. Sometimes people don't understand what it is. Just do your research. It can't hurt. But just know that, chemotherapy is carcinogenic. And, I had a lady that says, no way, really? And I thought, yeah, ask about it and read about it. And so it was a bit of a shock for her.
So it's basically injecting chemicals into your body that are going to kill all the weakest parts of your body. And so it's going to kill good cells and bad cells. So it does make people awful sick.
Yeah.
And the idea is, it's like when you get a fever, your body's raising the temperature of your entire body, so that those invaders are going to die off because they can't live in that higher temperature. But if the temperature gets too high, it's also going to cause problems for you as well. So that's the idea behind chemotherapy. But these are actually carcinogens that they're injecting into your body. And some people get cancer from cancer treatments.
Yeah. The funny story, in Australia, my friends and I, we helped her cousin, and her cousin recovered completely. And he was bedridden and then he was up and going, he was holidaying. And then when he visited the doctors, they could not believe that he was well. They said, everything's all clear. What? How? And then they said, just in case, let's give you all of these treatments in case it comes back. And I thought, no, that's how you catch it. That's how you get it, right? So that was just interesting. I don't understand that logic though. But the chemicals, like any chemical, can stay in your system for over 9 years. They have a term called chemo brain, and people have lost certain memories and things, and they can't make thoughts coherent and recall things because they've got all of this damage that's happened to them. So we can just help the bodies eliminate toxins by giving it what it needs. The other beauty about essential oils and plants is that it's cell selective. You know what that means? It means it says, hey, this cell's healthy, I might leave it alone. Hey, this cell needs some help and support, I'll help this cell. It's Mother Nature. And I thought, it's like a very smart little robot that goes in there.
And these are options that your medical professional will present to you,
Yep.
Chemotherapy, radiation and stuff. And those are personal decisions that you need to make.
Yep.
But it's good to know that what your options are, know what all of your options are, and to ask various different medical professionals, get a second opinion, talk to a doctor or medical professional who is open to natural solutions. There are doctors out there that will work with you to help you choose something that you feel comfortable with.
Yep. Anyways, we talk about that quite a bit. We talk about radiation, what it is, and other things. I think I want to just skip forward a little bit because I think I'm repeating myself a few times here. I have to go through this and start eliminating. So there's an interesting a book called Fungus. Cancer is a Fungus. Have you guys heard about that?
Mm-hmm.
No. So this doctor, somebody else. Let's see. Somebody say.
Does someone want to say something? Cancer is a Fungus. Has anybody heard that book?
Yep. Dr. Tullio, this guy, he found, large quantities of fungus in people and in all the cancer patients. And what he realized was the body is, the doctors say the body is attacking itself, which implies that the body is broken and it's just malfunctioning and it's hurting its own self. But what he found was that the body is actually searching, the inflammation was caused because the body's trying to attack what fungus it finds. So, it's looking for this changing, moving target. Because once the fungus leaves your gut and it goes all over your body, your body's chasing it. And one really interesting health problem that I've recently encountered was it migratory arthritis. Have you heard about that? Yeah? Yeah. So that's really interesting. But in my head, I thought to myself, makes so much sense if this here is true, that it's a moving, changing target. Then your body says, hey, inflammation right here, I found the guy. And then one day your arm hurts, and then the next day your knee hurts. And then your arm is perfectly fine. Right, but what happens is they get given these immune suppressant drugs because they're thinking the immune system is just malfunctioning, doesn't know what it's doing. But the immune system is the doctor. So it says, hey, shut that doctor off. And I can't imagine how that's going to help that person in the long run. What do you think, guys?
I think the pain has a purpose to tell you that there's something going on, that there's an imbalance. So you got to figure out what that is and not suppress the immune system in its effort to combat whatever is going on. So to me, it makes sense.
Yeah. So I just thought, well, why don't we just cleanse out whatever is in there and support the immune system so the immune system can do its job better. So that's how I think. That's how I feel the body works. I could be wrong. But this guy, he's so adamant about starving the cancer, having an alkaline diet and, all of these things, that he suggests. Avoid teas and coffee and all of these things that actually creates an environment that is inducive of more cell mutations. So it makes sense to me, and I thought that's just it's good. We understood that, and so we based all of what we did with Mum on this, and we shared this information with our friends, and the friends that opted to do this too, they found that it was very useful. Yeah. Oopsie, sorry, honey. You should do it next time.
Let me drive.
Yeah. Okay. So we want to talk about DDR prime just a little bit more. So I think I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but that's just research, okay? So there's frankincense and there's orange, lemongrass, thyme, some are savory, I don't know too much about it, clove, and nioli, and those are the oils that are in that DDR prime. Yeah. So we use it on our little kids too, when they go swimming and things, and when they've been soaking in chlorine for hours and hours.
Rub it on their feet.
Rub it on their feet. Yeah. So that's it, guys. This is all I know about cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Thank you so much.
I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing that.
Uh-huh.
Does anybody have any questions or wants to add anything
Mhm.
to the discussion?
I had the thought as you were calling it migratory arthritis, gout came to mind. And I've never thought of gout as migratory arthritis. That's an interesting thought.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's other ones too, but all of these are inflammation. And there's a reason why your body has inflammation in the first place. It doesn't just happen because it's broken. And what I did with my dad, because when we cleaned out his kidneys, the next thing that happened was Mr. Gout came along, because that's uric acid traveling in a different direction, right? So what we did with him was we addressed a lot of leg problems moving forward. And yeah, within 2 weeks, he was happy and feeling great. But, you know, it's funny when you start cleaning out one area and it's all good, another place says, hey, me too, attention here. And it's just peeling an onion layer at a time. So if your body's doing that to you, there's a Chinese lady that taught me this, and she says, where's the dragon? We're chasing the dragon. Where's the dragon? So it's, where is it hot? Where is it, you know, inflamed? And, you know, it's like, oh, I didn't know. I thought you heal when you feel better all over. And she's like, no, where's the dragon next? So, you know, you think, the dragon's down on his around his legs now, because we cleaned out over here, and this kidney is all happy now. And now the dragon's down around his legs. And so now we have to address the legs. It's so cool. So cool, right? Because your body guides you what to do next. Yeah, instead of being disappointed and worried that, oh, you know, I thought I healed, but what happened here? It's like,
And
no.
it could be the underlying problem is not physical. It could be emotional, traumatic, or something like that. So you're chasing that around and just symptom management until you release whatever is causing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my back is awesome now, and you know, in the past I've been diagnosed with all those names, you know, but I know that it's actually just my body not having enough nutrients to build tissues properly, and the other thing was my body had a lot of, you know, toxins and fungus. So cleaning all that out, and now I don't have that label anymore because all the symptoms that fall under that label is all gone. Okay, so that's really important that we don't own it, especially with cancer. When people say, I have cancer, I just tell people, you have a diagnosis of cancer. And, you know, that's it. That's a diagnosis, and don't own it, because otherwise it's really hard to let it go. Hello, we have some friends, new friends. Sorry.
All right, that actually brings us to the end. If anybody, does anybody have anything else that they want to add?
Otherwise, we'll just stop the recording.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. If you have any other comments or anything you want to add, please go ahead and make comments on the post that Jane makes. That does actually add a lot of value to it. All right, thank you, everybody.